Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Honorable Marvin Coop Show. I'm the host, Chef Marv. No lie, I'm that guy. And I got my guy.
Ready Ragu Network.
Yes, sir. Not these niggas again. So,
No,
today's
not these
episode,
niggas again, these grown ass
they
ignorant men.
don't know nothing about that, man. They don't
What
know
up?
nothing
What
about
up?
that.
What up?
We got, today, every, team's top breakout candidate for 2025 season. And
Yes,
today,
sir.
we are going to discuss the AFC side. And then we got the NFC side another day. So here's the thing, right, bro. Let's just start with the elephant in the room. For the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Yes, sir.
I picked Nate Wiggins. He had
All
he
right.
had he had plenty of flashes as a rookie. He demonstrated some good coverage. You
All
know,
right.
as the upside of being a last year's first round pick.
Wait,
But
hold
he
on, man.
uh-huh.
All right, man. Yeah, the trash truck's going by. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, you good, my guy. But I just felt like, he did have some inconsistency as we talked about on other episodes. But he definitely started to improve more. Nate Wiggins, like I said, I feel like he can have a good sophomore year.
So
But
we going straight NFC North? I
no, we
mean,
just going
AFC North?
no, we just alphabetical order teams.
Okay, got you. All right.
So
Nate Wiggins. Okay, you was kind of
I
on
was
his
hard.
helmet at first last year.
I,
Then,
I was harsh on the kid. Yes, I
yeah,
was.
yeah, I thought I remembered that correctly.
Mhm.
So here you go again. Paul, still all over this kid.
I feel like he could definitely be a breakout candidate, but here's the crazy part. So where does Nate Wiggins end with Jair Alexander being signed yesterday?
I was just gonna go there. I was just gonna go there.
That's why I was like, let's address the elephant in the room first because, like I said, when I brought this idea episode to you, I had wrote some players down, and I was like, Nate Wiggins could definitely be a good breakout candidate. But here's the thing, like I said yesterday, with Jair Alexander going to the Ravens, where does that leave Nate on the team?
Uh, what I see, right, as I scheme it up in my mind, if I had those pieces, I'm putting Marlon at the nickel.
You gonna put Marlon at the nickel?
Yeah, and then bring him closer to the line of scrimmage, and then have Wiggins and Jair outside. As long as Jair healthy, he gonna end up fucking getting hurt. But
Yeah, that's what I said. If he could stay healthy for once.
and then you got the young kid, safety,
Hmm.
that they just got, and then you got Kyle back there. So it's solid
Solid
back end.
secondary.
Pause. Yeah,
Oh,
bro. Yeah,
yeah.
solid, bro. So
It's
one of the better ones when you look at it like that. If Nate is gonna break out, right? If Nate what breaks out, like you saying,
hmm
the young guy has a solid rookie campaign, and then Marlon goes in there, does his thing. Jair come over and does what he does.
Yeah, help him out.
Right? We're not asking for anything extra besides what they normally do from Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphreys, and Jair Alexander. Right? Then we
Exactly.
asking Wiggins to break out, and then the rookie to be solid. So I guess there's better rooms in the league, but this one is definitely a one to watch.
Most definitely. I agree with you. I
So
agree with you.
Wiggins, let me see. I'll say on the Ravens breakout. Man, I feel like Jair
Jair?
because I heard a stat, bro. Jair done played in 14 games in 2 years, bro.
Mm.
You know what that means? That means, correct me if I'm wrong, 17 and 17 is 34.
Yes, sir.
You played in 14. You missed 20 ball games in 2 years, bro. So, and I love
Health
the kid.
bug.
Don't get me wrong. Went to school with my guy LeVar. They was good at Louisville.
Yeah.
But come on, J.A.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and that's why he went there. Oh, I just realized that just
Yeah,
dawned on me.
that's they
Duh.
homies. But
Yeah,
he had a few
he went
places
right.
he wanted to go. I think your squad was one of them. I know Rogers was in contact with him about, but here's the thing, he wanted to, where was we gonna put him on the Steelers?
Yeah,
And then Atlanta, I know Atlanta was one, and definitely like the Ravens. He had a few candidates that was
I
looking
mean, he
at.
would have started for us, but I think Johnny Spytek, man, probably. Uh,
He probably did what you did, saw that 14 games in 2 seasons. He probably said, nah,
like, nah, Petey. Like,
here.
Petey probably like, man, let's pull the trigger on this guy. Uh,
Mm,
because we had Shaquille Griffin in. If we had Shaquille Griffin in for a visit, then I know they would have at least had Jair in for a visit, but they guess not.
Shaquille Griffin, blast from the past. I ain't heard that name in years.
Yeah,
That was Shaquille Griffin. Oh my goodness. That was my guy, man. Shaquille.
yeah. Shout out to his bro too. So I ain't.
Yeah, man. All right.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, I'll say Jair, man. He's just been so hurt, injured,
Yeah.
trying to get a good one season in, bro. Get a season in, last.
Got to get one, at least one. Like, come on, man.
What I say, man.
I think this is the time for the Ravens now. It has to be. For all the moves they making, the great
That's what I
draft
say.
choice they doing. It has to be now or never for them. Like for real, man. Like
That's what I say.
so, Buffalo Bills, man. I'm gonna go with my man Elijah Moore. Like I'd say one of the most given up player that people gave up on. Like, but his production on the field, man, he's solid. I feel like he could be a reliable target for Josh Allen once he's on the field and he's not hurt. I know he didn't really have like much success with the Jets and the Browns, but you still made Zach Wilson look good when he was on the field. You still made Deshaun look good when he was on the field. But right now, you have an MVP quarterback. Only thing that's concerned is your health. I feel like Elijah could be 1,000-yard receiver this year. I feel like he
Huh?
have a great breakout year.
Huh?
So
So I like a receiver too for them to break out, but I'm gonna say the young fella, uh, Keon Coleman.
yeah,
Uh, out of Florida State,
yeah,
last year's draft. Flashed a little bit as a rook, but
he did.
didn't sustain nothing. Um, Ended up kind of being a flash in the pan for him. He showed it, but didn't really sustain it last year. This year, I'm looking for him to, show up big from week one all the way through. And what I mean by that is uh, the third down catches, right?
Yeah,
The chain movers, the tough across the middle, the back shoulder on the boundary. I'm looking for him to build chemistry with Josh and step up and maybe not be that number one guy, but definitely that guy that Josh trusts in those third and second and long. Uh,
that's
so we'll see. Yeah, I'll say Keon Cole for me.
Keon Coleman. Yeah, I got a lot of faith in Keon, man. But like I said, Elijah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. A receiver definitely has to be a breakout candidate for the
I
Bills.
mean, yeah, right?
Any type of receiver,
Real
So
talk, bro. Yeah.
anybody.
Some pass catcher over there, uh, needs to step up, as does the QB. And that's crazy to say for a dude that won MVP, but we're not even going to get all into that, bro. All right, let's not go down that.
Yeah, we discussed all that before,
but it's just it's funny that I have to say that.
yeah.
That we both saying a receiver
But
needs to step up. And I just have to mention bubble screen, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
say less, my guy. Say less, my guy. That's crazy. Oh man. So Bengals, this one's gonna be interesting for you, man. I picked
Cincinnati Bengals.
I picked Chris Jenkins Jr., the rookie from last year, the tackle. He had a slow
Okay.
start. He had a slow start. He definitely was struggling the first couple games, but I remember the one game against the Browns in December. He had 2 sacks. Oh, forgot the stats. I think about 10 tackles that game.
Uh-huh.
So he had some promising towards the end, but I feel like right now you have to step up and help this defense hold up its end of the bargain this year. You have to like definitely show why you were a starter. You earned that spot. You fought hard for that spot. You didn't lose it to nobody in injury. You were an automatic starter from the jump. Like I said, we all start off struggling as a rookie. We get that. But Chris Jenkins Jr., I feel like you definitely need to step up this year and show them why you were a starter, why you weren't that spot. And you have to help Trey Hickerson and Shamar Stewart. You lost Pratt to y'all, a good linebacker in my opinion, who I gave my thoughts on the Red Ragu live yesterday.
Uh-huh.
But y'all have to help. You have to help that defense with what you have. So I'm gonna say Chris Jenkins Jr.
Well, that's excellent, man. Uh, you know, I'm not gonna say nobody on their offense, bro. The offense is lethal. I I told you when we played against them, they got after us, bro.
That's
We had
crazy.
played y'all, and we had already played the Ravens and Cleveland. So we played them last.
Yeah, you played the whole North. Yeah, y'all played the whole North this year. Last year.
Man, so I'm not. The offense is dumb, and when we played them, T. Higgins wasn't even there. T. Higgins was hurt. The fool Gasecki was killing. So I'm gonna say, all right, all right. This is tricky. You there? Look like you stuck. Anyway, this is tricky, and I hope this is being recorded because it's got to be somebody on defense, and they have not re-signed Trey Hendrickson yet.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
what happened.
I'm here.
Okay. You said T. Higgins didn't play?
No, T. Higgins didn't even play when we played them. Huh?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, T. Higgins, but yeah, because I had him on my fantasy team last year. He was out for half year.
He didn't even play in the game against us, and they dogged us still.
That's wild. That's
So
wild.
I'm not gonna say anybody on offense because of that.
No. Right.
The offense is explosive.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say, it's a tricky one. And I'm going to say the rookie, but not Shamar. To me, the rookie second round pick, 49 overall, Demetrius Knight, because of Jermaine Pratt being let go, right? The
Right.
rookie inside linebacker, South Carolina. Probably plug and play. I'm thinking at least on first and second down. They might take him out, nickel and dime, but I'm challenging the young fella, man. Demetrius Knight, the linebacker, because he's got some shoes to fill.
Bengals organization, if you're watching this, do not take Demetrius Knight out the dime or nickel formation.
I mean,
I
they that might be why they got.
because so like a linebacker that can play all of it, like 3-4,
Yeah.
4-3, nickel dime, prevent quarter and all that.
Well, I don't
That's
know
what
if you
they
knew.
need. No, that's what they need though, Raggle. They need a linebacker who can solidify all those plays instead of like rotating this and that, bringing somebody else in here like that. You need an overall utility linebacker. You
They
know,
were definitely rotating against us. They were bringing it. They were
yeah,
taking Jermaine out and bringing in. I forget the guy's name.
they did that to that's what they was doing, and I think that's where they were failing. You sitting here rotating this guy out for this guy, and this guy, and this guy, that, and like I said yesterday on your live, Pratt is one of them linebackers who can still be solid in the nickel. Didn't really see them
They
play a
didn't,
lot of
they
dime
didn't
though.
treat him like that for whatever reason. They didn't treat him like that.
Like I said, that's probably what's wrong with this organization now, is that they're not trusting the players that they're picking up. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They
Trust
have to stop somebody at some point, bro, if they want to be a good team. You
trust
can't
the
just
players. Yeah.
you can't just score. You can't. You're not about to get 5 touchdowns every week. I don't care how good. I mean, I know they offense is cold. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Offense is straight. It's just the fact that how you stop the other team from scoring on you. That is, of course, that's the main goal. But it's like you can't be in these dog fights every week, man.
And they got all that bread over there on
You
offense.
300 some million on offense. That's a sad story right there.
So now you got to put out that the defense from Food for Less or from pick a, what did buy and save or whatever you want to call it. Your defense got to be full of a
Mm,
Dollar Tree
yes.
items and shit. You feel me? Like you trying to hope that you got a good deal from the thrift store on your defense because your offense got all the bread spent on it.
Mm,
Over here getting youngsters, right, that you can control
right.
for a while contractually for not that much. And you trying to win ball games, bro. And that's why I say Demetrius Knight is going to be big for them. Or,
I hope so. I hope so. I'm moving from. I'm always like South Carolina defensive players.
well, I
I
mean,
know.
that's
I know he's in the op division. You know, I get
yeah,
that, but hey,
yeah. Sometimes though, young players, you just want to see them do good.
do very good.
You know, you watch them in college and shit. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, bro, that's where they at with that for me. They picked him a little bit high,
Yeah,
but they must have saw something, and I'm thinking, he's gonna have to be the guy for them if
yeah.
they're gonna stop anybody.
Oh man. So here's a. Really have to put on my professionalism hat now. The Cleveland Browns. I went defense again. This guy was a sophomore last year, Isaiah McGuire, the defensive end.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
played a rotational role as a sophomore last year. Um, only 3 of his 16 appearances, man. He only started 3 games of the 16 games he played. He has to do good on the opposite side of Myles Garrett, man. They paid this guy a lot of money. So now you got him some good defensive help in the draft. Not quite sure who they signed free agency, but this guy was a promising player, man, Isaiah McGuire. So I feel like he has to be a breakout candidate for the Browns, especially like we said, just gave Garrett all that money. I was a huge, huge fan of him in college. Say he's a Missouri guy. So
Good program.
very good program. But
Yep.
last year was your chance to really show what you had. And like I said, I get he didn't play his rookie year. I get that. But sophomore year, was a rookie year for him. I think he only had like 5 tackles, 1 sack. It's not good enough, my man. So I feel like you have to really, really step up here and be that candidate that you were, drafted to be, in my opinion.
Um, you know, I feel you.
Hmm.
I think the defense has been the strength of this football team over the past few years, right?
I'm just,
My
I'm gonna say 1 year.
uh
I'm gonna just say 1 year,
the
and
last year.
that was the year they went to the playoffs. Last year that defense
Oh,
struggled. Yeah, last year I think that defense
so
struggled.
you know they got probably the best player in foot on defense, and like you said, the youngster on the other side of him needs to at least hold up his end so that dudes aren't shading as much to Miles
Yeah.
uh, as possible. And then so also the guys inside too. Now, for me though, and in the National Football League, a lot of times the rookies ain't shit at first,
Hmm.
right? But we had Bowers, we had Brian Thomas Jr., we had uh, um, the Giants. What's my man name? The receiver.
Oh, what's his name? Neighbors.
Yeah, Malik, Neighbors, right? These guys all put up numbers first year.
Hmm.
So if this offense, and then we don't even know. So the elephant in the room, right, is who's going to be playing quarterback for this team, right?
Right.
So really, to be honest with you, bro, how I can't get past that. I can't get past that. So they need somebody to break out at QB on this team. Whoever the hell they decide they're gonna go with. I know who I feel like they should go with, but I ain't at practice, and I ain't hating on nobody. I don't think Dylan Gabriel was better than Shador Sanders, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. But whoever they decide to go with needs to be a breakout candidate at quarterback for them, bro. The quarterback, whoever it is, I don't have the name because we don't know.
Once again, let's address the elephant in the room. I don't know why we're even talking about Dylan Gabriel here, bro. I do not know why. We're not gonna get back
Drafted
to
him
the draft.
before
Yeah,
Shador. That's why.
yeah. I don't like I said, Ragu, I don't want to get into that. We all know what the real deal was with that. Flacco's on his last leg. Let's keep it real. Pickett, mm-mm. Pickett is not it. Deshaun, and Deshaun's my guy. I love Deshaun Watson, man. He's just the stupid shit he's been doing lately is just aggravating.
Bro, I've
He's not gonna see the field. He's
never
not.
been more wrong on a guy, I feel like, man. Unless he comes back and redeems,
Honestly though, where was you wrong at? Them Texans years was great.
they were.
And I salute him for that.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, he just hit the
Since then, though.
downfall. He just hit the downfall. And
Yeah.
that's we get that from every player. But let's be honest here. Shador may start. But let's just be real. Is that the right choice? By throwing this kid into the wolves like that? Is he really ready?
That's what we gonna find out.
Is he maturely ready though? I don't know if you've seen he got pulled over. I think what was it yesterday? Speeding ticket somewhere in Ohio.
Oh,
Shador. See, it's like I said, it's stupid shit like that. It's stupid shit like that that makes me think he's not maturely ready to be an NFL quarterback. He
what
has the
was he in?
talent.
What was he in?
I think he was doing 140 mph. Shit like that. He wasn't drinking or nothing. It was just, come on, man.
Damn, Shador.
So
And
he's
it
cited.
ain't nothing but a ticket, but it's just
It's a ticket. Cited for doing 101 miles per hour in a 40 in Strongsville, Ohio. An officer pulled him over at 12:24 a.m.
so he out after midnight flying. Sober though.
Yeah, sober. But here's the thing. I don't want to say. I'm gonna say this record. It brings me to my man, y'all, the rug situation. I'm just thankful Shador wasn't drinking. But still, man, you grow up, bro. Grow up, Shador. For real.
Yeah,
You
don't. Yeah, come on, man.
you have a chance to be a starting quarterback for a goofy franchise. And like my man just said, you have the possible to be a breakout candidate. And you out
Yeah.
here doing stupid shit like this, man.
Matter of fact, bro, don't even drive.
Yeah.
Let
Don't try.
somebody drive you, man.
Mm,
And if they ain't available, then you don't need to go. Just don't even drive, Shador.
mhm.
Don't do it to yourself, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So another another elephant in the room, but we'll put our professional hats on. The Denver Broncos, people. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. For Bo Nix to have a good rookie season the way he had, it sort of reminded me of a Josh Allen situation. He turned these receivers into something. So I'm gonna pick Marvin Mims Jr. to be like a good candidate, like for him to emerge into this season. He was a good all-pro return, but I feel like he needs to emerge in the offense. Like, I think he averaged like 14.4. He was doing good, but I think he just slowly slowed down. You know what I mean? So he has the ability to like be a threat to some defense. So I'm gonna pick Marvin Mims Jr. His role should definitely continue to expand as
That's a good one, man. Because
yeah.
so remember when we was looking at the guys that had receiving yards, rushing yards, kick return and punt return yards.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say he was on there, man.
Yeah, he was a good return man.
Uh, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
touches the ball. False. That just sounded crazy.
That's
He
cool.
touched. He gets a lot of touches, man, in a
Yeah.
variety of ways. Right? He's returning both returns, I believe. I want to say kick and punt.
Kick and punt,
Uh,
yep.
he's a wide receiver by trade, and then I guess they had the ball off on a reverse or something a couple times to him or something. But yeah, that's a good pick, man. Mims is because of all of the different ways that he touches the rock, he he's a fantasy radar.
He
He's on
is.
the fantasy radar. Just at that like maybe wide receiver 3.
Right.
Um, a good bye week guy for you to when you need a guy real quick, he's usually available to be able to pick up. So I like that Mims for them. So Broncos for them. I didn't give it. I didn't know who was next. Wasn't prepared to talk about the donkey so soon, but um, the donkeys, you know, You know, they had a pretty good team. They had a pretty good team last year. They missed the field goal, right? Against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They would have beat them. And, you know, I'm going to say Vele. And I know he's already a good player, but I'm saying breakout, next level, 1,000 yards, perhaps double-digit touchdowns for Vele, the receiver. Leave it at that, man. I ain't going no more in on it than that.
Oh, I know it kills you to say that they was a good team. Just the struggle with your face just to see that.
Yeah. And
But I
I think
understand.
about Jade and Omarion joining the team that was already let's move on.
Let's go to let's go to the Houston Texans, man. All right. I picked this guy. He was one of my favorite linebackers in college. I'm gonna pick my man Christian Harris, who definitely needs to break out and be that linebacker that you were drafted to be. You were a top prospect in the 2023 draft. And I feel like you are the most athletic linebacker if I've ever seen in football. I know you was taken in the third round, but you have the tools to be that impact first, second, and third down linebacker in the league, man, especially in the D'Amico Ryans defense. I know injuries got in the way the rookie year, but and last year I thought you was gonna be that top candidate. But this year I'm gonna pick you again. I feel like you definitely need to be hands on, help that defense, put in the work, and definitely put yourself in a big position, pause, to get you that big bag. Because you have the potential to be that, man. So Christian Harris, I'm rooting for you, bro. I think you could definitely be that linebacker that you were. I think you have the ability to be 100+ tackle guy. I really do have that faith in you. So you got to show it. You got to show and improve. So I'm gonna pick Christian Harris.
All right. Well, me, man, I'm a sucker for a good comeback story.
Mm-hmm.
Always have been. When a guy is at the top of his game and falls off because of injury, then everybody doubts him. He might be a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I just, love to see guys come back and prove people wrong.
Right.
And if this guy does, this team is going to be something else to deal with. And that's Nick Chubb. Devastating knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
Sat out all of last season.
Yeah.
If you saw the play when it happened, it was nasty. And he's back. Signed a free agent deal with the Texans. We know they got Mixon already.
That's gonna
So
be a
they
good
can get
two-headed monster over there.
that's what I'm saying, bro. They can get both of those guys going with CJ. And then they got my guy Jaden Higgins over there, the rookie from Iowa State that I was scouting along with I don't know if Tank's ready, but Nico's there. Nico's already made a name for himself in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this team is.
Dang, you got both Iowa State receivers over there too. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got both teammates. They did.
But I definitely love the Chubb pick, bro. Last year I
Yeah,
know
Nick.
he wasn't productive last year. He still scored 2 tuds on us though. So I'm interested to see the good, beautiful, like you said, comeback story for Nick Chubb. He deserves it. I love the kid,
Yeah,
man.
always been a good guy, right?
Always been a stand-up guy.
Yeah, don't really
But
hear no smut on his name, nothing like that, man.
yeah.
Um, but honorable mention here, Coop, the big fella Ariante Ursery, the tackle
Mm.
from the University of Minnesota. a guy that I had kind of lightweight scouted and thought the Raiders might could
Yeah.
end up with. I'm happy with the alignment that we got. Don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
I'm interested to see the big fella. He's one of the biggest dudes in the draft, 6'6", 330.
Yes.
Uh, just sidebar. Interested to see if he's gonna come and command the other tackle. Because they still got Tunsil, right?
On the Texans?
Yeah,
Yeah, Tunsil's still there.
yeah. So see if he can come and solidify that other tackle, and then they're gonna be something to deal with. Man.
I mean, I feel like I said, they're gonna definitely be on the top of the food chain for a while.
In
Like
that
I
South,
said,
for
you
sure.
just you
Right?
just have to. D'Amico will definitely. I think D'Amico gonna definitely turn up. Is use that defense, like you say, he's a defensive guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he is. And shout out to Cal McNair, um, one of the new owners who I think he took over last year. He's letting D'Amico do what D'Amico do. So I know your pops, Janice, and all them other McNairs was messy. But Cal, shout out to you, man, for letting. I'm gonna pay
Cal
y'all.
want to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He
pay
wants to
y'all to
win.
do what y'all do. You know, I learned my lesson with I don't know, Janice's sister or something like that. The messiness with JJ, D Hop, and Deshaun and them. So I'm learning my
Yeah,
lesson. I'm just gonna stay out of this. I'm gonna pay y'all to do what y'all do. So shout out to Cal McNair, man. Shout out to you,
yeah.
bro. That's true ownership, people. Take lessons. So the Colts. Daniel Jones. Nope, psych. I don't care about him. I'm going to
They they definitely would need him to.
Is it the same like what you said about the Browns? Does a quarterback need to break out over here?
Yes, yes, man. Absolutely, yes.
I don't feel like no more receivers. I like I said, shout out to my man Josh Downs. What's the other guy's name?
Um,
Pittman Jr. Pittman
yeah,
Jr.
Michael Pittman.
is good. So I'm not gonna really pick no offensive weapons besides quarterback. So now I feel like Daniel Jones has a lot to prove. He definitely needs to be a candidate to get this team back into what they need to be. And as you've seen, many Colts players, what they've owned formerly just passing away, they want to honor him this year. So this is now or never for them. So right now, I feel like your weakest link is your quarterback. So I feel like a quarterback definitely needs to be a breakout candidate over here.
I'm with you. That it's kind of obvious,
Yeah,
right? So you 100 on that 1,000 wow, but
right.
just as to not just pick the same thing as you. Um, I think it'd be nice if the rookie tight end that they just drafted has maybe a rookie of the year type campaign. Whatever quarterback they end up going with, having a good tight end is important to that QB. So
Right.
um, whether it be Jones, uh, whether it be AR, I guess remains to be seen. But I feel like Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, needs to be have a big season.
Hmm.
Or let me say, is talented enough, right, to where he can come right in and have a big season, and be the kind of like the security blanket for one of them dudes. Because let's face it, them quarterbacks gonna need some help. What whoever
Yeah.
whoever
Yeah.
wins the quote unquote playoff battle, they gonna need some help, bro.
Exactly.
They got JT, right? They got Pittman, Josh Downs, like you said. So,
Mhm.
direct tight end, chipping in would really be a big deal for them.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Oh man. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on these guys here. Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, I picked Brenton Strange, this, the other tight end on that team, to be a breakout candidate. I feel like after moving on from Evan Ingram, that clears the way for him to step in into the tight end role.
He
He
must
had,
be why they moved on, right?
I probably he showed some flashes towards the end of last season. Like I said, I think he had an 11 catch game, 100 plus yards against the Jets in December. So he was stepping up big time, and he's a very athleticism tight end. So I feel like right now he's definitely in the merge of stepping up to being that type role, to being that starter that he could be. Like you said, that's probably why they moved on from him. So I definitely think that Brenton could definitely be like a candidate for it.
And you know what? Now, like in my mind, I didn't flip the whole. We supposed to be doing breakout candidates. I didn't flip this shit to
Yeah,
put up or shut up. Um, which, in other words, you need to break out,
yeah, you
right?
do.
And that's nobody other than William.
Yeah, how many?
Nobody needs to break out any more than William on that team, bro.
Yeah,
Uh, he's sitting on a, and I ain't a hater, bro. You mentioned the bread and shit, but bro, he's sitting on a quarter bill, right?
yeah, yeah.
What has he done?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. But how many times is we gonna pick this guy to do this and do that? I've given up on Trevor or William. Not even gonna lie to you, bro.
Uh,
I defended this man so many times. It's like I can't be a lawyer to this guy no more. Can't be pleading the case to him for him no more, man.
if he doesn't break out, they're not going nowhere.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
They should be a team that's fun to watch. But we'll see with him, man. It's him. It's him.
It's definitely him.
Um, but and definitely trying to not spend too much time on his team. I am excited about Travis though, and what the season beholds. Just week one, just to see how they're gonna try to use him. Pause. That felt weird.
It definitely felt weird, bro.
Yeah, just how they're gonna deploy Trav. That's interesting too. But
Yeah,
breakout, they have to have it from William,
most definitely.
and I refuse to say his name. His name is William.
Definitely William.
Fans of Jacksonville, you know who I'm talking about. Other
Mhm.
people, y'all might be like, man, what's this dude talking about?
Trevor William
Coop
Lawrence.
said his name. I'm not saying his name. His name is William.
Yeah, who only got y'all one playoff win in the what almost 4 or 5 years he's been there.
For
So
the corner.
yeah, the quarterback, number 16. We'll just say that to y'all. Number 16. That's a good way to put it. No, we're trying to be professional here. All right. So I don't want to spend too much time on these guys either.
All right. Yeah, I know who this is.
Um, the Chiefs. Oh God, they're going to pick Justin Simmons, the rookie. As you know, Ragu, I was concerned with the foot injury, but like I said, injuries do heal people. Um, so I'm expecting him to have a good breakout season. That line disappointed you in the Super Bowl, Patrick. So they were shaky in pretty much 50% of these games. I'm gonna definitely pick the lineman. I'm gonna pick the rookie. Got to come in there and play some Kansas City football. Can you
It,
prove to be the number one? I mean, the first round pick that they drafted you to be.
uh, interesting that up until now, I think this is your first rookie, right?
Yes,
That you
sir.
picked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel you because they went 15-1 in the Super Bowl runner up. So shit, everybody on the team then broke out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been playing well at the position that they play on the Chiefs.
Yes.
All right. So except we got to the Super Bowl, they got the asses blew out, largely because they couldn't block it up for the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to ride with you on this one. This dude was highly rated in my draft board. The foot injury made him not even higher, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe top line tackle. Had his foot not been hurting. A little bit concerned though about the injury.
Very concerned.
Big man with a foot injury, right?
Yeah.
But they need him to come and block it up. And it would be nice for him as a player if he was able to have a breakout season and come in and start right away and have a good year. So I'm with you. I'm gonna follow your lead on that one. Go Josh Simmons too. Offensive tackle, Ohio State.
Sir. All right. The moment of truth here. I'm gonna go first because I know my man, the great Raider Ragu, the network, the show, the GOAT himself, is going to take his time with his team. So I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Jacorian Bennett,
Uh,
the cornerback.
uh,
Bennett, he flashed some high-end skills. Like I said, I only seen like 7 games from y'all. Time for the second among all cornerbacks with 7 pass breakups, if I'm correct. He had 7 pass breakups over the first 9 weeks, going with, he had a shoulder injury, you know. But like I said before, my man, one of the great coaches I've ever seen in my lifetime, good guy, Mr. Pete Carroll. You could bet Mr. Pete Carroll, one of the best defensive back coaches we've ever seen, has a plan for maximizing the former second round pick skill set. Y'all, I'm gonna bet my life on that. So I'm gonna pick Bennett here. He could definitely take off his third season. Floor is yours, sir.
so about uh Jacorian,
Mm-hmm.
he did an interview recently with my boy Q. Shout out to Q. I don't know if it was Q. Q played it on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't know that since college, he didn't even say exactly how long. He just said for the first time in about 3 or 4 years, I got my shoulder, right.
Mm-hmm.
So he went on to say that for the last few years, his shit been popping in and out of
It's not good.
place.
Not
And
good. Not good.
not, he didn't have the confidence in the shoulder really because of that. Now,
Yeah.
that hit home for me because when I played football, I played corner, right?
Right.
And see that
Mm-hmm.
that's I had surgery, man, on my shoulder. Um, and before I had the surgery, just like him, for years, bro, like I wouldn't really say shit for years, man, since high school. That shit was popping out of place and shit. I didn't even have surgery until I was 21.
Mm.
Shit had been popping out of place since maybe like 15. You know what I mean? So I know what he means. And it messes with your confident, especially when as it gets worse, right? As it pops out more frequently, because that's what ends up happening. It ends up just happening more frequently until you say, "Fuck it, man, I got to have surgery," which is, I'm sure, what happened with him. I mean, to the point of like you can't even really rely on your shoulder when you're reaching up and shit. Maybe even trying to catch a ball.
Right.
The velocity of the ball, fuck around, jerk it out of socket or whatever, man. When it's really bad. So when he said that, it resonated home for me, man. And now he's got his shoulder fixed. You know, my only like I feel bad for him because, you know, this is his third regime, right?
Right.
Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler drafted him, and then now they were out of here. Then he had Telesco last year and AP as a staff. So he had Josh McDaniels, then AP and Champ for the interim, AP and Telesco. Now here he's starting all over again with a whole nother set of people that didn't draft him, with John Spytek and Pete Carroll now. So now he's got to prove himself all over again. Just like you said, though, you said his stats from last year. He's one of the better corners when he was healthy. So that's a good pick for you saying that, because, you know, I would be happy to see Jacory get back in there, man, because right now he's running with the tools. As of right now, he doesn't start in OT, you know, but he's coming back from the injury.
Yeah.
All right. So good stuff right there. But all right, so with my Raiders, you know, I just went live a little while ago and I was talking about this. So I actually have 5 guys on my team that I feel like needs to break out or are poised for breakout seasons. The first dude, though, is Michael Mayer, the tight end, a guy that we traded up into the top of the second round 3 years ago to grab from Notre Dame. Tremendously productive in college.
Well, why Michael Mayer when the great Brock is there now? I was going to talk to you about that on the live. I meant to, but I was driving. So my question is to you, Ragu. Is this a sign that they're going to give up on Mayer? That now that Brock is here, now that they've seen him emerge into that rookie season, is this a sign that they're going to give up on him, or you feel like he has one more chance?
So I think they really want Mike to come on strong this year, bro. They want both of them to be good. Cool. You know, I was saying on the live that tomorrow I'm gonna come back and talk about Brock blocking. All right, but I ain't gonna get all the way into that because I want to watch the live. But let me just say, I feel like Chip, in his mind, wants to challenge what has become base defense in the National Football League, right? The 5 or the nickel. The 2 linebacker set. He wants to challenge that, bro. And from what I understand, it's been tons and tons of 12 personnel in the OTAs with him and Bowers out there.
Yeah.
With Bowers being a guy that can spread out, right? And kind of be a traditional slot or wide out while leaving the personnel the same, though, right? But so just imagine this. You get Genty going against that nickel. They like, you know what, man, we got to put another linebacker in here, man. We got to run a legitimate 4-3. You know, the Genty's killing us. All right, so now, once they start doing that, now they spread Brock out, use him as more of a slot, right? And now we got that linebacker out there trying to cover Brock. So I think that's where Chip is trying to make his bones at. That's where he's trying to eat.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying we need Mike. And Coop, he ain't showed us nothing, bro, in these couple years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just because Brock came and did his thing, that don't let him off the hook of being a good tight end. We need him to be a good tight end, bro. So that's why Mayer, and this is his third season. So that's why he's number one. Number two, my main man Tyree Wilson, man. Right? You know, if you're listening to me,
yes,
Patrick Graham, Robbie Leonard, the D-line coach, just experiment letting them stand up, bro. Let them stand up. That's what he was doing at Tech when you drafted him 7th overall. Just see if something is there with that, man. If it ain't, then make him put his hand back down, make him play inside, whatever you're gonna do with him. But I'm just saying, man, for one segment of the season, man, let the kid play his natural way he was playing and see if that turns him into the player that we all thought he was going to be when you drafted him 7th overall. His first year, Coop, I'd really give him a pass because he had big man with a foot injury, and the only reason he was thrust into the lineup is because Chandler Jones, like, tripped out. You know, he had the issues or whatever. So he had to play that first season, which they had planned on kind of letting him redshirt that year, but they had to throw him in there because they didn't have anybody. Last year was really his first season to me, and it really was okay, but it wasn't nothing like, dare I say, Jerry Verse like. And I ain't saying everybody rookie got to come and be Jerry Verse. That ain't gonna happen. But I'm just saying it didn't pop like it could, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for him to take it to the next level, man, and actually be a guy out there, a name that they keep calling types, you know. Third, Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker had been the slot receiver, the speed guy, to take the top off the defense guy last couple of years. He's also coming in his third season. He, along with Mayer and Tyree, all got drafted together. I ain't gonna say he's been a disappointment, but for me as a receiver coach before in football, what I see is a lot of body catches and a lot of catching and falling. When, you know, I need you to catch that thing with your hands, tuck it, and come alive. Catch, tuck, come alive.
Come alive.
Not body catch and fall. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what he's been doing with his opportunities this year. I mean, so far before this season. From what I understand, he went and got LASIK surgery on his eyes. Supposed to be making, snatching the ball with his hands now, from what I hear in OTAs.
Okay.
If so, that's a good thing for him. But if not, guess what? We got, and Trey Tucker is like 5'9". You know, he's our speed guy right now. But guess what? We just drafted a 6'5" speed guy. Right? And I heard he's been doing well in practice. So, Trey, if this guy is every bit as fast as you and 6'5", that doesn't bode well for you, son, especially if you're out there body catching and falling. To the point of you might get cut, bro. You fuck around get cut. Let alone have your role that you had the last couple years. I feel like with Petey and Chip, if you out there body catching and falling, you got to actually getting cut in training camp. So you need to break out, Trey Tucker. Fourth, Zamir White. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Zamir But we thought Zamir was going to break out last year. I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass because I feel like the offensive coaching was a little bit in disarray last year.
Right.
They start trying to do a zone scheme block and didn't have the personnel for it, and had a coach that had never installed it himself before. So you had a first-time guy trying to install a way of running the football with an O-line that hadn't been running the football like that. And it ended up being a disaster. Zamir White, I think, had 150 yards or something on the season. I kid you not. Terrible, terrible numbers. And a couple fumbles. And then they pretty much shut him down.
Bad.
So I feel for so you don't get cut. Let's be honest. They brought in Mostert. They probably not gonna cut Laube, and they drafted the main man.
Yeah.
For your survival on the Raiders, you may pick up on another team, but for your survival on the Raiders, bro, you need to break out this year. My last guy is, through no fault of his own, I'm saying this about him, he needs a breakout season. He needs a big season. But here's a guy that tore his ACL just before the season started last year, and that's the Max's running mate, Malcolm Kuntz, the other edge player on our defensive right side. 8.5 sacks in 23. Got most of those sacks after AP took over and started letting them play.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see him get back to the 23, his 23 self, that 23 production, and then take it to the next level. What I expect from him is to start slow and then have a huge impact coming down the stretch of this coming season. But we do need breakout from Malcolm Kuntz as well. So that's my takes on the Raiders. I said it on my live. I'm saying it right here. Content, man. We got it for you. We got you all off season. We got you.
I'm gonna say this and then we gotta move on because I gotta get ready to get out of here soon. Michael Myers, you proved your point with him. Who else you say that? Tyree?
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on Tyree just yet. So I definitely agree with what you said, Tyree. I agree with what you said on Michael, and I agree with what you said on Tyree. Disagree with Trey. Here's why. The catch falling don't get you nowhere in this league. I was watching some tape on Colin Johnson, one of y'all receivers. I feel like Trey could get cut and Colin can take over. You got Jack there, Thornton, like you said, the 6'5".
Oh yeah, I didn't even say Jack. Yeah, I didn't even mention Jack.
Jack. I feel like the Keyshawn Smith, the 5'11" guy, can step up as well. I looked at y'all receivers. Pause. Guys got some good receivers over there, so I feel like there's no room for Trey Tucker to improve and be that breakout candidate, like you said. And let's go to my man Zamir White, who me and you had great content on him last year.
Yeah.
I pleaded with people. I fought for him. But now it's the time for me to move on and give up on him.
Oh.
Genty, like you just said, y'all got y'all guy. Marshawn and PD just praised this man, so he's starting. Look like he gonna start.
Oh, definitely.
And you got your second down guy, Raheem Morse. So where is there room for Zamir at? I don't see no room for Zamir at all. I don't see no room for Zamir.
You got Tucker and White possibly being released in training camp?
Being released or being sit on the bench somewhere.
That's not far-fetched at all.
Yeah, it's not. I just don't see it. I feel like y'all got some good talent, and I don't see no room for those guys at all.
Interesting. I mentioned both of them being cut myself, but you're saying Tucker, you sound like you're almost convinced he's gone.
I'm convinced he's gone. You guys got a 3-headed monster over there. And with Jacoby with the two rookies and Brock, Trey Tucker, who? Trey Tucker, who? You might as well give up that number one jersey, bro. It's over with for you. I'm sorry, Trey Tucker. And like you said, Raku, that catch and fall to the ground is not gonna get you far in this NFL, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The
It's not
catch
at
stuff
all.
can come alive.
That's all. And like I said, not too much time. Like I said, I know we got other teams we got to talk about, but that's just my take on the answers. But I definitely feel like my man Bennett could be a good candidate for
That
y'all.
was a great selection too, and very, insightful. It lets me know that you watch Raider games
Yeah,
because
like I
that's
said,
not a, he didn't even play a lot of the season last year. So,
yeah. But like I
uh,
said, them first couple of weeks I was impressed. I
what
don't
do you
know
think
if
about Kuntz though? Just real quick.
Kuntz, this is his time to, he fully healed up. Now it's the time to show him improve. Like you said, King Ho last year, he didn't play. Injury got him. But now let's see what he really can do. So I think Kuntz could be a definitely man, that's what's gonna worry about him and Max. If he fully healthy and can be that one player that he was, him and Max on the side, that could be a nasty defense, bro. Just because I know what Kuntz can, I know what he can bring to the table. I'm not quite sure other people, what like people ain't football guys like us, but Kuntz just if what scares me is he's gonna be that guy he once was, maybe even better. I feel like Petey can bring the best out of him for real.
I
So
really hope so.
it's gonna be interesting to see that. So Kuntz, I'm rooting for you, Pimpin. I feel like get it together. You know,
Word.
but we're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting, man. But it's like I said, I don't want to spend too much time, but you have competition over there. I didn't even speak on my man Andre Carter. So it's
And let me correct myself from earlier. The Broncos have R.J. Harvey at running back,
yeah, not Hampton. It's cool. Yeah,
and
Hampton's
Hampton plays for the Chargers, who
Chargers.
was the other team in our division who I got them mixed up. Who they
Yeah,
drafted, but yeah, R.J. Harvey plays for the Broncos,
yeah.
who was a good running back at Tennessee.
Speaking of
I
them,
mean, at Central Florida, University of Central Florida.
speaking of them, they're next. So the Chargers, like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time. My man Double T, I'm gonna pick him. Tulopa Lati. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a defensive end. Once again, Joey Bosa's gone. His departure has set the stage for Tuli to be that breakout defensive end. On the other side of Khalil Mack. So based on everything I've seen from Tuli, he stepped in when Joey was hurt and had a great season last year. So now he gets his full chance to be a starter this year. And he could have a breakout year. Like I said, could probably bring in that John Harbaugh defense. So I think he could definitely step up now that Joey's gone. So I'm gonna pick Tuli. I'm gonna pick Tuli, the defensive end from the Chargers, to be the breakout candidate for that team.
I do not like these guys, so I'm gonna be professional though,
Uh-huh.
uh, and for a few different reasons, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Dayon Henley, right? If you know, you
Dayon
know.
Henley. Dayon Henley.
I'm looking for Dayon to block out all of the bull jive,
Yep.
get out there and set the NFL on fire this year, and really make his name as one of them guys on defense in the National Football League.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for the young man too. With a sidebar, cool. And I can't stand these guys, but I love they draft. They went. A sidebar of Arondé Gadsden II, the tight end that they drafted from Syracuse. I think he was the best tight end in the country. I do. I know Tyler Warren, all those guys, I know. I'm a Q's guy on the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So, once I discovered this dude on the game, I'm like, man, who is this guy? And end up, kind of looking into him and was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get drafted. And then lo and behold, these dudes drafted him. Grabbed him in the 5th round. Excellent value. Just I can't believe I'm talking like this about the Spanoses and I forgot the name of their gym, but they did a job over there this time. So Arondé, not even to mention the Trey Harris and the Omarion Hampton picks. I'm not, but Dayon with a sidebar for Arondé Gas the second.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
Thanks. That's all good. Excellent professionalism from my man, the Rated Ragu Network. So
Appreciate
yes,
you,
sir.
man. Appreciate you saying so, man.
I know how tough it is, bro. Trust me, I get it.
Man,
dealing. So
we already did the North, so I know how you feel.
Yes, I can finally breathe. So let's get into this team. I know I've joked about saying I'm not watching these guys as long as a certain quarterback is starting. But like I said, I'm gonna be professional. The Dolphins, I do see a few candidates over there that I wanted to say, but I'm gonna just pick one. I'm gonna pick Malik Washington, the guy who has been cycling through the receiver 3. I feel like he can be a great alongside Tyreek and Jalen. I tell people all the time, don't sleep on Washington as he's going to be emerging. I think he's going to do great this year. He was great at Virginia. He was a great standout, dynamic shot target. So I feel like he can definitely be that in the NFL. And if Hill happens to be a trade chip, look for Malik Washington, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, you heard it here first. So he could be in the lineup for a sizable target share. So I'm gonna definitely pick Malik Washington, the receiver from the Dolphins, to be uh, a great target, a great candidate. And rest in peace to my man Clarence, the one who I just told y'all passed away. My baby's fiance, he was a huge Dolphins fan. He put me on to Malik. So and I just started paying attention to him. So rest in peace, man. I miss you. So I'm gonna pick Malik Washington for the Chargers. For the Dolphins.
Well, I'm gonna say some slick shit, I think, cool. Because we feel like about that QB situation like we do.
Mm-hmm.
My main man, I'm gonna say 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
My main man, Zach Wilson or Clinton Ewers, needs to break out for this team. Because it might happen. It could happen at any time.
Anytime, any day. Yes, I agree.
And I ain't really trying to be slick. But hey, man, they drafted Ewers for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson is there trying to trying to redeem himself as a football player, as a quarterback in the National Football League. But I also got to give a sidebar to my main man, Ollie Gordon, because it was a great draft pick by them.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that was on my draft board fairly high, a guy that I wouldn't have minded the Raiders grabbing, pause. So that quarterback situation where at any time they're going to need Zach Wilson or they're going to need Quentin Ewers. with a sidebar, my main man, Ollie Gordon, the second.
Yeah, I think both of us had Ollie going to our
We did.
squads. Hey,
Yeah.
and this is funny, y'all. Me and Ragu had a few moments where we was like, nah, Ollie going to the Steelers. Ollie going to the Raiders. We did that with Hampton. And I was like, we gonna get him, but it's like we playing tick for tack over here. But it's cool. I'm glad that y'all was able to see our shows and y'all picked him. So, like I said, I think me and Ragu are some of the reasons why some of you players is getting drafted. So you're welcome and good
You
luck to
welcome.
good
Man,
luck to y'all.
we was like, everybody forgot about Caleb.
Hmm.
Mike Tomlin and Omar was watching our videos like, man, shut up, man. Just leave Caleb with your mouth, man.
Yeah, we got him. We got him. We got him.
Hey, y'all end up getting him. Man, that was a trip.
That
That,
was. I was happy too. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
So once again, not gonna spend too much time. I want to be professional.
Main man, Ollie Gordon. Yeah.
The Patriots. Um,
Oh, uh, okay.
I'm gonna
Let's
go
hear.
with the number 3 pick last year, Drake May. I would look for him to have a great breakout season this year. Don't get me wrong. He had some great moments last year. He really did. But there was some few moments he didn't quite show up in the stat columns. So I think the Patriots done excellent work in his free agency and in the draft. So shout out to them for that. They addressed the line. They got him some good weapons. So I look for him to have a great sophomore season. So I'm gonna pick Drake May to be that candidate in the Patriots organization.
And that's excellent pick. And I don't think anybody can be mad at that
Right.
at all. Um, this past off season, uh, the the Raiders lost Robert Spillane to these guys. Um, and I was like, damn,
No, no, that's fair because we lost Spillane to y'all. So yeah, yeah. So nah. What goes
uh,
around comes around.
so then something happened. We tried to uh they had a restricted free agent linebacker named Christian Ellis
Mm.
that we signed to an offer sheet. I'm thinking, I'm about to wake up any morning and Christian Ellis is on our team. I end up looking at some tape on him. Thumper. This dude can play, man. Lo and behold, man, they matched the offer. Because I'm thinking they got Spillane, so this guy is dispensable, right?
Oh yeah, he'll be on the squad soon. But
Nah, man, they matched. They matched for him.
they said hell no.
So, I think this dude is going to be a breakout player for them. A linebacker out of Idaho. It's going to be his 4th season. Number 53 for them, Christian Ellis. Man, look out for that dude. I say he's about to break out and make a name for himself on defense in the National Football League.
Man, that's a good pick. That's a good pick, bro.
Yeah,
So
I was tripping off why they, I was not expecting them to match that offer, bro. I'm thinking he's going to be on the team.
oh
I
boy.
will also throw a little sidebar Travion Henderson too. Interested to see what he.
And now that they got new offensive court, ooh, that's a
Yeah,
good pick too.
little
Because
side.
here's the thing, I was thinking with that, right? It was like, man, they don't know how to utilize their running backs. Stevenson is good here and there, but they don't know how to utilize them. But I keep forgetting that they do have.
They got a new thing there.
They
It's
do.
it's Josh McDaniel.
All right, we're gonna move on. I don't want to hear about no McDaniels. Stand that clown. But you know what though? Here's the thing with McDaniels. I'm gonna say this before we move on. Good coordinator, but a lousy head coach. Stay in the coordinator position. That's all I'm saying
Yeah.
about McDaniels.
He's back home where
Where he started, so there you go.
where he's the only place he's ever been good at.
Yeah.
Right? Let's be honest.
So
Yeah, let's definitely move on before I barf.
yeah,
Okay.
the Jets.
New York.
Dysfunctional team that I grew up loving. We had my heart breaks with these guys. And I had some questions about this guy, why they drafted him, wasted his time. The former first round pick last year, the left tackle, Alu. So stuck behind Tyron Smith, of course. Tyron Smith is a Hall of Famer. I get it. And I said Tyron was on his last leg. So put Alu in there. And I think I said this on our show too. That why did they get him? Like why did they waste his
Yeah,
time?
yeah. You
So
did.
I'm
You did.
excited to see the former Penn State lineman start this year. He's gonna start. I'm happy for him. I'm picking him to be the breakout candidate because he's gonna get a lot of opportunities in this offense.
That's a great pick selection because he was really a top rated prospect last year.
Exactly. So he's gonna get a chance to protect Fields, and I feel like it's gonna be a good. Yeah, I feel like he could definitely be a good candidate, brother.
Well, your player just led into the segue to my player. And yeah,
Mhm.
low hanging fruit, and it's probably obvious. But my man JF, man, I'm rooting for him, and they need him. Coach Glenn needs him to have a breakout year. I'm talking, all I'm saying is the best year that he's put up passing wise. We know he's gonna pull that thing down and get somewhere with it. We already know that. I'm saying passing wise, Justin Fields needs. I'm looking for him to have a breakout season, the best season he has on record as a passer in the National Football League this year. And Coach Glenn needs it.
And
So, Olu,
five,
I hope you are going to be there and keep my man upright.
yeah, five former Old State players he's reuniting with, so I give him that.
That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, yeah.
So some chemistry there.
Uh-huh.
All
Wow.
right, that's gonna be pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah. So
I'm low-key hoping so.
I'm going. Oh, here we are. The the team, my guys here.
So, look, let's just do Tennessee, then do you guys for the last team of the AFC.
All
Because
right, for sure.
we didn't do the Titans.
All right, for sure.
Pause. Look.
Yeah, it's all good.
They need their guy. They need their number one draft pick
Think so?
to flash immediately. And I know that's the easy pick. I know that's the easy selection here, but this is not a very good team.
No.
It's a very talented team.
Yeah.
So Cam Ward, bam, number one pick in the draft, slam dunk.
Mm. I'm gonna pick a guy that we talked about in our rookie episode last year. Man, JC Leffen, the right tackle.
Yeah,
So, of course, he was a top with Alu. They were both top linemen.
yeah, yeah.
So his rookie year wasn't exactly a smashing success. We all know that. So they had him start as a left tackle, even though he's a right. I feel like that could be a difference maker. He hadn't played since college. So here was the result from JC. 47 pressures, 8 sacks, 10 penalties. Very bad. Very bad. But like I said, it's a new season. fresh out, 2024 first rounder. I feel like Titans could have big plans for him. I feel like he needs to break out, protect the #1 pick, like you just said. So I definitely gonna go with JC here, and hopefully he can be that lineman that they drafted him to be. Maybe rotate him, put him back to where he was, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, they gonna have to keep Cam upright,
They
right?
do, most definitely. I feel like Cam gonna do what he do.
I do too. As much as he can
Yeah, I
on
feel
this
like
squad.
yeah,
They did get Tyler Lockett over there to give him some help with Pollard and those guys, but and so we'll see. But, we'll see.
yeah, he got some good
I
weapons
say
over there.
Cam though.
I
All
got
right,
you.
Nick. So yeah. All right. So now I'm ready. Let me go, and then I'll let you do your thing. Um, the irony of the coverage that we were doing on the draft, and me and Coop kept on saying, because the draft was deep with running backs, right? If anybody paid attention to this year's draft, we know that
Yes.
it was edge rushers. Shout out to my main man, Jay Will, and running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And as they start talking about Genty and the Ohio State guys and Omarion and going down the line, it was like Caleb Johnson had got lost in the shuffle. And I was telling Coop, hey man, this guy was on the Heisman watch. Early part of the season last year. And then, Travis kind of took over and it went from there. But, why ain't nobody talking about this guy? And then lo and behold, draft night, second day, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that Friday, these guys drafted the Steelers. So for me, and they got rid of Najee. Najee's in, almost said San Diego. Najee's in LA,
Mm-hmm.
playing for the Chargers. So breakout candidate, Pittsburgh Steelers, rookie running back Caleb Johnson.
Mm. Okay. Let's get to the nitty-gritty here. Oh boy. Pittsburgh Steelers.
How many you got? 11. I ain't saying y'all bad like that. I'm just saying that I know how you are. You talking, you want to see backups play better and all kind. I already know how you are.
No, the players I have are
I saw you
starters.
say you want to move on from TJ too, man. I saw that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we can move on from TJ. TJ is
That's hot take Marv, ladies and
that
gentlemen.
is, I feel like TJ can definitely be moved on. We can move on from TJ, get some first round picks, and probably a good candidate, a good solid player for him. So I feel like his worth right now, especially with us drafting Jack Sawyer and one of my candidates who needs to step up, Alex Highsmith. I understand we rotated you to the line. You was a linebacker. You did good. Rotating you to a new position, I get it. But you have the potential, you have the speed, you have the tackling prospect of being a great edge player. So I'm gonna put Alex Highsmith in there. Offensive tackle, Broderick Jones. You're disgusting, brother. I'm telling you right now, do better. You have the potential to do better. Your footwork is great. But you weak on that one side is not cutting it, bro. Especially when we play teams like the Raiders with the Max Crosby. Uh, my man on the op side, Miles Garrett, Aiden Henderson. You have to do better, my man. Project, you have to do better, and you have the footwork and the size and the muscles to keep up with these guys. So there should be no excuses for you. I'm going to say Jalen Warren as well. Good guy, good kid, good production. Fumble in key moments like Rashard Mendenhall. That's who he reminds me of. From Rashard Mendenhall 2.0, you'll fumble in key
Shout out to
moments.
Mindy, the former Illinois.
Nah, I'm not shouting out Mindy. You lost us that Super Bowl, bro. I'm not
Play,
shouting you out, bro.
I used to play a lot of college football with
I feel
Illinois
you.
back in the day.
Oh yeah, my man Juice, the quarterback Juice. That was my dude too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, on to say Pat, but Pat does good. The fire move, he does great. So I'm not going to say that.
Moo.
He
They said that shit at fucking Allegiant Stadium. I was hot.
oh man. Let me say this. Let me address this too. Joey Porter is my number one.
Okay.
Two seasons in with the Steelers. He's played phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. He has to impact what we expected him to do. His coverage skills gives him the upside of a high-end starter. We get that. But he has to find ways to reduce penalties. The penalties killing us. Lost us a few games.
Huh.
So 17 flags, it's not gonna cut it, Joey. You have to do better, bro.
That's
So
a flag again. That's a
that's
DPI per game.
exactly, which is not good. So even with like a slight improvement in this regard, a reasonable expectation for you heading into year three, definitely will definitely solidify as a spot as a long-term foundation with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that was my top candidate, but those guys were honorable mentions. So I'm gonna definitely say, Joey, you got to reduce the penalties, my guy. You're a great cornerback. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, 17 flags. Like my man said, that's an average. And there was a game where he had three of them. So so that means that he had a couple games with no flags. But that one game where you
But
had three,
it still averages out to,
yeah, it's
he's
still.
going to get that's something you can, as a defensive coach, you can
Mhm.
pencil in that he's going to get a penalty
Just like we expect
once a game.
Watt to miss 4 or 5 games with injuries, expect Joey to get a penalty at least one game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely say that. But Jalen,
You stuck that one in there. Expect Watt to miss 3-4 games per season?
all the time
Or
with injuries, yeah, Ragu, it's crazy how. Like I said before, I know he's a phenomenal player, but last year has shown that Father Time is catching up to one. You're 0-4 in the playoffs. We haven't made the playoffs since we drafted you. I mean, we made the playoffs, but we lost the first round. You only been
the
in
two
four of them,
forced fumbles against the Raiders, we would beg to differ, but I guess.
but that's regular season. Where is TJ Watt when it matters, though? He missed last year's playoffs, the one against the Bills. He played this year, did lousy. All I'm saying is that where we need you the most, it doesn't count, in my opinion. So that's why I'm saying, like, with that being said, I feel like maybe Father Time is catching up to him. Maybe it's time to move on. So we drafted Sawyer for a reason. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Yeah, bro. I'm here.
mhm.
Um, fair, fair assessment. Uh, and I haven't thought all about Joey, so that was a good pick too. And the little running back, uh,
Jalen.
like all of those guys were good against us, though. You talk about TJ being hurt; he had 2 forced fumbles against
Yeah.
us. But yeah, those are your guys. So how many guys you named? There about 6.
No, just Highsmith, Warren, Joey Porter, and Jones. Only named four.
You
Like I said,
said
I
move.
did.
You said
Who?
move, but you was like,
Yeah, I don't need to
all
really
right.
say much about Muth because he technically is a top 10 tight end. He does really good. I feel like
Yeah,
he's improved over the years. He's like a Najee for real. He's improved each year he's played.
yeah.
And
I
I
agree.
think last year was like his first healthy season. So yeah, I think he's improving. I had him on the list, but when I told you when I presented this idea to you, I wrote all this stuff down, and I couldn't really find one thing to really say about Pat. So I'm like, yeah, that's why I took him off the list. But I feel like, yeah, Broderick Jones definitely he has the footwork to be a good potential offensive lineman. He's just feel like he's even like I know those guys were superstars that I named with Crosby, Miles, and them. But it's been times when you made somebody like who's this guy run
Yeah,
up in there and sack your quarterback and stuff like that. So that's why I was like,
yeah.
maybe
Not
it's not the star power. You know what I
not a
mean?
who's this guy.
Exactly. Like, damn, who's that guy? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Jalen Warren, good guy, good kid. His production is great, but it's just the key moments. Like, look at the game last year with Washington. I know we won that game by a point, but you fumble it on the 2 yard line like that. It's just key moments to where he's fumbling. Like open field, running up the field. All of a sudden, somebody he lose the football. Could score a touchdown, lose the football. Damn, you costing us some of these games. And Joey, like I said, that 3 penalty game cost us that one game. I know it's just a 1 game difference, but penalties like that could definitely shoot us in the foot.
Yeah, it's too difficult to win in the league
Yeah,
to beat yourself
but yeah,
with
man.
penalties and turnovers, which
Exactly.
that's something that the Raiders could take heed to as well, and I'm sure they will this year. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
So I know you said you had to roll, but that's the AFC, huh? Right there.
That's the AFC, man. Maybe Coach Fame could join us on the NFC, y'all. But yeah, this is what me and my guy got, man. We gonna bring the heat all summer.
Yeah. Um, could have mentioned some other guys, but we didn't want to be here until dark. All right. So that's what we got.
Hey man, it was a few people I had. I just wanted to pick a few, but I knew for our squads, that's why I made the extra time because I'm
Yeah,
like, no, we gonna have a lot to say about our squads.
yeah, definitely, man. And there was even more that we both could have said about our two teams, but that's
I felt like our two teams alone could have been an episode by itself.
it really could have. It really could have. Good quality episode too.
Most definitely. And we said we got the AFC, I mean the NFC. We got our all decade, all pro. And I
Got
think
the
my
all half decade,
all
right?
half decade pro episode. And I still want to do that. I still want your take on the episode we did about the players if they retire today. I want to do the coaches edition.
Coaches, yeah,
I want
yeah,
to do that one with you too. And then of course training camp OTAs. We got all the heat for y'all. So we're not done here. And then regular season. And our most exciting episode, a prediction episode. We got a
yes.
prediction episode for y'all. We probably gonna. I've got another idea I'm gonna run past you too. We gonna probably do a Madden NCAA preview. Maybe
Oh
even
yeah,
maybe
I'm
even
with it.
hop on the game with y'all. We got a lot of shows. That's what I'm saying. Me and my guy, we do this, man.
We gonna get y'all through the off season. Don't worry.
And then of course the season's
Stay
coming.
tuned.
Pause. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. Yep, this is it, folks. We got y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share, and everything.
Yes, sir, man. We really appreciate the engagement and
Hmm.
love.
Yes, sir. Hope y'all took some notes. We appreciate y'all. Like my man say, what you always say, what you always tell them.
Just win, baby, and peace.
Yes, sir.